Bear market, big crash, it doesn't matter. If you've been with me in this channel for the past few years, you'll know that I'm one of the biggest Ethereum bulls out there. And I thought it was a good time to make another video on the overall prospects of Ethereum because it finally broke all-time highs just a few weeks ago. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my strongest bull case for Ethereum and specifically 7 unique points from my own research and analysis. So if that interests you at all, you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and just keep on watching. Welcome back to Bitcoin for Beginners. I'm your host Kevin, and in this channel, we're all about deep research, honest opinions with no frills nor fluff. As always, I leave timestamps down below for you to skip ahead if you'd like, and please like and subscribe if you're as bullish on Ethereum as I am. So the first reason why I'm bullish is because they're always innovating for new use cases, and I'm always surprised at what they come up with. Back in the last bull cycle, we thought Ethereum was dead meat because ICOs were dead and the SEC effectively banned them. But then there came DeFi, which aimed to replace a lot of the traditional features that banks offered. And then now most recently, non-fungible tokens or NFTs, which enabled the space of digital collectibles. So they have a strong track record of continuous innovation within the community, and I'm excited to see what comes next. I can't even imagine what's the next use case that they're going to come up with. They're just so resilient, and you may take one thing away like decentralized crowdfunding or ICOs, but then more and more use cases are going to pop up. That's the innovative nature of this space. The second reason is because Ethereum has established really strong network effects, right? And in terms of developers, they have by far the most developers out of all crypto ecosystems and projects out there. According to a really exhaustive report by Electric Capital, Ethereum had over 2,300 monthly active developers in late 2020, way more than Bitcoin and all the other layer 1 blockchains out there. And they were even growing pretty fast in terms of the total number during the bear market. So you can imagine in this bull cycle, that will start to rocket even more. And the funny thing is that Ethereum doesn't need to use some funds to entice developers per se. Developers choose to come and build on them organically because of these network effects. Whereas if you take a look at other projects out there, especially other blockchain networks that are Ethereum competitors, they have to do a token sale and use a good chunk of that proceed to give to teams to build on top of their platform. I would bet that most teams would not choose those platforms otherwise. The really awesome effect of these network effects is that what these developers build are composable. So when they build decentralized apps or protocols, because this is a decentralized blockchain and open space, you can build on top and utilize what people put out there. So you don't have to build all those functionalities from scratch. This is not a siloed, centralized web services world. This is the decentralized internet. So if you build something in the DeFi space, people can build on top of it and really have fancy and powerful use cases because of this composability. So that's really the beauty of the space. And it really reminds me of the saying, a rising tide lifts all ships. That's especially true in the Ethereum world, where more and more developers are coming on board every day and building stuff that others can also utilize and create something truly beautiful and useful collectively. And my third reason is that Ethereum already has legitimate adoption in a lot of different places. For example, decentralized exchanges built on Ethereum to let you trade different ERC20 tokens, they have come a long way and may eventually even overtake centralized exchanges like your Binances and Coinbases one day in the future. Probably won't come too soon, but I have faith that they will. I mean, you saw Uniswap, a big decentralized exchange, overtake Coinbase in daily trading volume sometime in 2020 for a brief period of time, but that was so impressive and shocking. If you asked us a few years ago if we could ever see that happen, we'd probably laugh you out of the room. And recently, if you haven't heard, Shapeshift announced that they're no longer going to try to KYC their users and go back to their roots because they think that the DeFi protocols are ready. So they're going to go a full-on decentralized exchange method. And that is probably one small step, but points towards the larger trend. Honestly, this use case of DEX is just really huge, right? Know your customer processes and 100% uptime. Those are things that centralized exchanges won't be able to promise. Another huge part of the Ethereum ecosystem that's getting major adoption is DeFi. And we saw over $20 billion locked up in DeFi protocols as of early 2021. In the DeFi space, they're looking to build the functions and features of the traditional centralized finance world, but in an open and decentralized manner. So that includes things like lending, trading, insurance, payments, derivatives, and so much more, right? You can basically take every component of the centralized finance space and port that over and build your own version with smart contracts. The lending use case is especially awesome because people can take crypto as collateral and get a loan out in minutes. And potentially in the future, when we have real world assets ported on to the Ethereum network, that will make it even better in terms of taking out loans on those assets too, which will create a whole new value proposition for DeFi and for lending. And lastly, on this adoption front, this is kind of new, but non-fungible tokens or NFTs, that's also a big part that's getting legitimate traction, right? NFTs are digital collectibles that you can truly own. You can prove it and do whatever you want with it, right? And we see this in a lot of different places already. On NBA Top Shot, which is an awesome card, and like you can trade moments of your favorite basketball plays and get it in like a digital trading pack per se. And this has had tens of thousands of packs sold since late last year in 2020. So that's a huge game, and I checked it out. Really beautifully made, really awesome to play around with and collect. Don't forget the trailblazers in this space too, CryptoKitties. They really proved this use case. And then we have other really polished games come out like Gods Unchained, which we have checked out from this channel too. And lastly, I even saw something recently where like a runway fashion show based on NFTs was also launched. So I'm really excited to see where this space goes as well. But this is true adoption already within the Ethereum ecosystem. And by the way, just a quick note, guys. We've been working hard at this channel making content for you. If you appreciate our videos, it would be amazing if you can buy me a coffee. And you can just do that with this QR code up here. You can stop this video and scan it, and it'll take you to a link where you can write how much you're willing to donate to my coffee fund. Any amount, even $1 would be much appreciated. But if you're watching this on your mobile phone, you can just click the pinned comment link down below, and it will also open up the same form. Cheers, guys. So my fourth major reason to be bullish is because of all this adoption, we see network usage skyrocket, and things are admittedly clogged up right now. And we see gas fees for certain types of transactions go towards $50, which is ridiculous. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. We have Ethereum 2.0 well on its way, with phase 0 already launched successfully in late 2020. In fact, we already made a video about ETH 2.0. This is a multi-year rollout that will bring the much needed scalability and throughput increases that we've all been waiting for. And with that also comes staking of your ETH. So a lot of retail guppies like you and I will want to stake our 32 ETH, or even less if you want to use pools or staking as a service. And the reason people do this is because you can participate in the network and also earn yield or interest / staking rewards per se by just locking it up and serving as a validator. So by staking, you will increase demand for ETH, decrease sell pressure because those will be locked up, and maybe that will appreciate the price of Ether as well. My number 5 reason to be bullish is, have you heard of the phrase software is eating the world? That means in all different industries, software is coming and automating stuff. Well, Ethereum is really eating the world as well, because we see Ethereum work with other chains and bring even more value onto its own network, right? We see things like wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Dogecoin, and even stable coins bringing all sorts of value onto the Ethereum network, which is awesome for the other side because they can add functionality, work with smart contracts and so forth. But for Ethereum, it increases the overall value captured within the network, making it so much more valuable and so much more resilient too. My number 6 reason to be bullish is because Ether has stated to not be a security clearly by the SEC. And so when we saw other projects like Ripple get into SEC trouble and with other regulators, and so that's really did a number on their project and their price. But Ether is fine, and Bitcoin too as well, so nothing to worry about there. Though for some projects on the Ethereum ecosystem, they might still get in trouble by regulators. But I guess we'll see for that, because we already learned, hopefully, from the ICO days, these projects probably are more prepared to make a case, have worked with different lawyers, have worked with the SEC themselves to be able to distribute their tokens in that area properly. Last but not least, number 7 reason to be bullish is about institutions. And the big question, will they get involved with Ethereum as well? Because we all see them loving Bitcoin and loving its value proposition as a store of value. So they hold Bitcoin in their treasury reserve instead of USD. They haven't done this as much with ETH yet, but there are signs that adoption might come too in terms of the institutional investors, because Grayscale, who makes GBTC, has also made an Ethereum trust, and they see early signs of investors getting involved in Ethereum as well. So that makes me bullish on the prospects of institutional adoption with Ether 2, maybe as part of their overall portfolio if they get more and more into crypto. So we'll see on that, but I'm personally optimistic. All right, so what are my final thoughts, right? As you can tell, I'm super bullish on Ethereum for all the reasons I stated and more. But what do you think though? Are you an investor in Ethereum, and what are you most excited for? Also, do you think it will outpace BTC in 2021? Because after all, Bitcoin has already rocketed, went way past all-time high, when Ethereum just a little bit so far. So maybe a lot more room to run. I guess we'll see though. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. I'm Kevin from Bitcoin for Beginners. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time.